Ladies and gentlemen, it's a true honor to speak with you today about a philosophy of life that doesn't promise instant miracles, but instead delivers lasting success. A philosophy grounded in clarity of thought, disciplined daily effort, and the enduring power of compounding growth. This is not the kind of message that sells overnight dreams. It is the message that builds lifelong empires. Clarity is the foundation of all achievement. Without it, people wander through life reacting to circumstances instead of creating their desired future. Thinking clearly means taking control of your mind, filtering out distractions, and focusing on what truly matters. It's about choosing your thoughts with intention, just as a gardener chooses what to plant. When you lack clarity, confusion takes over, and confusion is the enemy of progress. Most people don't fail because they lack intelligence or talent. They fail because they never define what they really want. Thinking clearly begins with asking better questions. Questions like, what is my ideal life? What kind of person do I want to become? What habits are moving me toward my vision, and which ones are holding me back? When you start asking these questions daily, your life begins to shift. You gain direction. You begin to align your actions with your intentions. And when those two things match, your actions and your intentions, you become unstoppable. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is the habit of reflection. Take 10 minutes every day to sit in silence, journal, or review your goals. Clarity is not something that strikes like lightning. It is cultivated. It is something you create over time by stepping back and observing your life honestly. Jim Rohn said, "Days are expensive. When you spend a day, you have one less day to spend, so make sure you spend each one wisely." That wisdom begins with clear thinking. Clarity also means knowing what to say no to. The world is full of noise, notifications, temptations, distractions. Every yes you say without thought is potentially a no to something more important. Clear thinking teaches you to prioritize. It gives you the courage to protect your focus, and focus is where real power lies. Without focus, even the best intentions dissolve into wasted motion. With focus, even the smallest actions lead to big results. Clear thinking also impacts your confidence. When you know what you want, you stop second guessing, you stop comparing, you stop asking everyone else for permission, you become grounded, you develop inner certainty. And people are drawn to those who move with clarity and confidence. Leaders think clearly, creators think clearly, winners think clearly. It's not a luxury, it's a requirement. Ultimately, clear thinking puts you in the driver's seat of your life. You stop waiting for circumstances to change. You start creating your own roadmap. You stop blaming and start building. Every great achievement begins in the mind of someone who took time to think, plan, and choose wisely. So if you want a life of wealth and success, don't just work harder *, think better *, because the clearer you think, the better you live. Success is not the result of massive effort once in a while. It's the result of small, disciplined actions repeated daily. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in a year through consistent effort. That's the quiet truth of success. Working daily doesn't mean grinding yourself into exhaustion. It means showing up with intention, even when motivation is low. It's not about being perfect every day. It's about being present, persistent, and purpose-driven. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results, and that bridge is built one day at a time. The difference between successful people and those who struggle is rarely talent. It's discipline. It's the willingness to do what needs to be done, especially when it's not easy. Think of the farmer. He doesn't skip planting just because it's cloudy. He plants, waters, and waits day after day because he trusts the process. Similarly, when you commit to working daily on your goals, your habits begin to stack in your favor. Progress compounds, confidence builds, and momentum becomes your ally. Working daily also sharpens your skills. You can't master anything by dabbling, whether you're learning a craft, building a business, or improving your mindset. Repetition is the mother of mastery. Every day you show up, you gain a little more insight, a little more strength, a little more edge. Over time, those small edges create separation. Suddenly, you're standing out, not because of one big leap, but because you refuse to quit when others did. That is the power of consistent daily effort. But discipline isn't just about doing more, it's about doing what matters. It's about focusing your energy on the few things that move the needle. Successful people don't do everything. They do the important things over and over. They create routines that support their goals. They design mornings that set the tone. They protect their time, and they build environments that support consistency. Discipline isn't just willpower, it's structure, it's habits, it's intention. One of Jim Rohn's timeless lessons was that success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day that might mean reading 10 pages of a good book, making one sales call, journaling, exercising for 30 minutes. These don't look dramatic, but over months and years, they create transformation. It's like laying bricks. One brick doesn't look like much, but brick by brick, you build a wall, a fortress, a legacy. When you work daily, you're not just changing your results, you're changing your identity. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who is reliable, focused, and growth-oriented. And when you believe that about yourself, you act in alignment with that belief. That's when life starts to shift, not in a day, not in a week, but over time, slowly, steadily, and powerfully. So if you want to grow rich, successful, and fulfilled, don't chase the big break. Chase the daily discipline, because in the end, how you live each day is how you build your future. Real wealth is not created in a rush. It's not the result of a single lucky break or a viral moment. It's the product of patience, persistence, and wise decisions made consistently over time. The idea of growing rich slowly may not sound glamorous in a world addicted to speed, shortcuts, and overnight success stories, but it is the most reliable, sustainable, and fulfilling path to true prosperity. When you understand this principle, you stop chasing hype and start building something solid. Because anything built too fast without a strong foundation is destined to collapse. True wealth takes time, and time rewards those who respect its power. Growing rich slowly starts with the understanding that wealth is not just about money, it's about value. The more value you create, the more wealth you attract. But creating value takes time. It takes effort to develop your skills, refine your product, understand your customer, or master your craft. People who grow rich slowly know this. They focus on becoming excellent, not just making money. They understand that the long game always wins. They plant seeds, nurture them, and wait for the harvest. Impatience is one of the greatest enemies of success. In the pursuit of fast money, many people abandon their principles. They cut corners, fall for get-rich, quick traps, or chase trends instead of building substance. But when you grow rich slowly, you're not just gaining income. You're gaining wisdom. You're learning how to manage, multiply, and maintain your wealth. Quick success often leads to quick failure because the person hasn't grown enough to handle the blessings. But when you grow along with your wealth, you become the kind of person who can keep it, protect it, and expand it. There's a quiet dignity in slow growth. It allows for learning, adjusting, and evolving. You gain confidence not because something happened fast, but because you've put in the hours. You've shown up when it was boring, hard, or lonely. And over time, you become unshakable. You know your worth. You've built systems. You've earned trust. You're not just surviving on momentum. You've created a structure that supports real, lasting success. Growing rich slowly also frees you from desperation. You're not constantly grasping or rushing. You understand that each day of effort is a deposit in your future. You invest wisely, you spend intentionally, and you live with discipline. Your decisions are based on vision, not emotion. And over time, that calm, steady approach separates you from the crowd. You may not be the loudest, but you're the most reliable, and reliability is a magnet for opportunity. Ultimately, slow growth gives you something that fast money never can, peace of mind, because you didn't gamble, you built, you didn't wish, you worked, and now your wealth is not just in your bank account, but in your habits, your relationships, and your reputation. That's the kind of wealth that lasts. That's the kind of success that endures. Becoming more to attract more is one of the most transformative principles of personal growth. The idea is simple. You don't need to chase success, money, or recognition. You need to become the kind of person who naturally draws those things toward you. This is not about pretending or performing. It's about personal development at the core level. Who you are determines what you attract. If you want more, you must become more. That's the law. You can't demand from life what you haven't earned through growth. Most people focus on external goals. More money, better jobs, nicer homes. but they overlook the internal work. You don't get a better life by just asking for it. You get a better life by becoming a better version of yourself. Improve your mindset, your attitude, your skills, your communication. When you upgrade everything else around you begins to rise. It's like raising your internal thermostat. The world adjusts to your new standard. Your income, your opportunities, your relationships. They reflect who you are becoming. Think about this. If someone gave you $1 million today, the first question should be, am I the kind of person who can handle $1 million? That's the key. It's not just about having more, it's about becoming the person who can manage more, grow more, and give more. Jim Rohn said, success is something you attract by the person you become. This means your most valuable investment isn't in the stock market. It's in your personal development. Personal growth creates personal magnetism. People notice when you operate at a higher level. They sense your confidence, your clarity, your purpose. You stop needing to impress and start inspiring. That's the power of growth. You're no longer begging the world to see your worth. You're demonstrating it through your discipline, your value, and your consistency. Over time, this creates a gravity that pulls opportunity toward you. Becoming more also means letting go of old habits and beliefs that no longer serve you. Growth requires change. It demands that you step out of comfort and into challenge. You must be willing to read more, fail more, practice more, and reflect more. You can't grow without effort, but the reward is profound. You become resilient, resourceful, and ready for life's greatest gifts. This principle applies to every area of life. Want better relationships? Become a better communicator. Want more income? Develop more valuable skills. Want more peace? Cultivate emotional discipline. The outside always reflects the inside. Life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. When you commit to becoming more, you stop chasing and start attracting. You move with quiet confidence, knowing that as you grow, everything else will rise to meet you. You realize that the journey itself is the reward, because in becoming more, you're not just changing your circumstances, you're changing your destiny. And that, more than anything, is the true path to a life of wealth and success. Success is not a destination you arrive at once and for all, it's a way of life. It's not a trophy you win and place on a shelf. It's a set of daily choices, habits, and standards that you live by consistently. Many people think success comes in a big moment, a lucky break, a life-changing opportunity, or a sudden breakthrough. But the truth is, success is built slowly, through quiet decisions and disciplines that shape your character over time. When you begin to view success as a lifestyle rather than an event, everything changes. You stop waiting for something to happen, and you start becoming someone who makes things happen. Living a successful life means choosing excellence in the small things. It's about how you show up when no one is watching. It's the integrity with which you handle your work, the energy you bring to your relationships, and the purpose that drives your actions. Success doesn't come from big promises. It comes from small follow-throughs. Each day becomes an opportunity to live intentionally, to improve a little, to give a little more, to learn a little deeper. And over time, this consistency compounds into a life you're proud of. When you treat success as a lifestyle, you also understand that there is no finish line. There's always room to grow, to evolve, to contribute. That mindset keeps you humble, curious, and hungry. You don't rest on past achievements. You stay focused on becoming better, not because you're not enough, but because you respect the process of growth. This is what separates those who peak once from those who stay successful for life. They don't chase high moments. They build high standards. This lifestyle is also about alignment. Your thoughts, words, and actions begin to match. You live with purpose and clarity. You make decisions that serve your long-term vision, not just short-term comfort. You develop routines that strengthen your body, your mind, and your spirit. You design your environment to support your goals. You surround yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Success becomes less about pressure and more about rhythm, your daily rhythm of excellence. A successful life is also rich in more than money. It includes peace of mind, strong relationships, meaningful work, good health, and the ability to give and serve others. When success becomes your lifestyle, you build wealth in every area. You live in abundance, not just financially, but emotionally and spiritually. And that kind of wealth cannot be taken from you, because it's part of who you are. So don't aim to become successful someday. Decide to live successfully today. Start where you are with what you have. Commit to showing up every day with purpose, effort, and integrity. Over time, that commitment will shape your habits, your character, and your destiny, and you'll look back one day not at a single defining moment, but at a life lived in alignment with your highest values. That is true success.